Norman Whiteside scored the FA Cup winning goal that ruined Everton's dream of a unique treble in 1985. However, his bustling, determined style made him a crowd favourite when he switched from Old Trafford to Goodison in 1989. An uncompromising goal-scoring midfielder, he would have achieved far more at Everton if he'd had more luck with injuries. Andy Hinchcliffe developed into a fine left-sided utility player under the guidance of Joe Royle, so much so that he forced his way into the England setup. He joined Everton from Manchester City in 1990 and could deliver the ball with his left foot with superb accuracy. He won an FA Cup Winners' Medal in 1995. One of the most highly regarded footballers of his generation, Peter Beardsley is one of those rare breeds to be well liked on both sides of Stanley Park. He joined Everton from Liverpool and scored a derby winner at Goodison in a royal blue jersey in 1992. An England international, his ability to pick out a pass was second to none, and although his stay at Goodison was brief, the Evertonians certainly enjoyed having him. A Nigerian international, Daniel Amokachi will always be fondly remembered for the day he came off the substitutes bench to score 2 goals in the 1995 FA Cup semi-final against Tottenham. A Nigerian international, Amokachi played football with a smile on his face, and that afternoon at Elland Road ensured a lasting place in the Evertonian hearts. Graham Stewart was the man in the right place at the right time when he scored 2 goals that helped keep Everton in the Premiership in 1994. He came to Everton from Chelsea in 1993 and also scored an important goal in the 1995 FA Cup semi-final. A real chirpy London boy with the nickname Diamond, he was an integral part of the team under Joe Royle's management. Lancashire lad Joe Parkinson learned his trade in the lower divisions with Wigan Athletic and Bournemouth, but took to Premiership football like a duck to water when he joined Everton in 1994. Mike Walker signed Parkinson, but it was Joe Royle who got the best out of him, and the player would have made many more appearances had injury not cut short his career. Barry Horn was a boyhood blue who lived the dream when he signed for Everton from Southampton in 1992. He was never a regular goal-getter, but he did score Everton's first ever Premiership goal, and his screamer against Wimbledon in 1994 will never be forgotten. A Welsh international, Horn was famously one of Joe Royle's midfield dogs of war. Paul Rideout was something of a football journeyman, but his place in Everton folklore is assured after his FA Cup winning goal in 1995. An intelligent striker, Rideout led the front line very well indeed after joining the Toffees from Glasgow Rangers in 1992. He left Goodison in 1997 to play in China. Andrei Kanchelskis had pace to burn, and he certainly illuminated Goodison Park when he first arrived from Manchester United in 1995. The dashing Ukrainian combined electric speed with a powerful finish, and he was the Blues' top scorer during his first season with the club. Sadly, his love affair with the Evertonians was all too brief, and he joined Fiorentina in 1997. Campbell initially joined Everton on loan from Turkish side Trabzonspor towards the end of the 1998-99 season, and made such a goal-scoring impact that the deal was made permanent in time for the start of the following campaign. He soon became a firm favourite with the supporters and was the first black player to captain Everton. Walter Smith surprised many people when he tempted Richard Gough to Goodison Park in 1999. The former Scottish international defender was 38 years old, but he was outstanding in his first season at Everton and left the fans wondering just how good he must have been in his heyday. Injuries caught up with him during his second campaign, and his influence was sorely missed. Big Duncan initially joined Everton on loan from Glasgow Rangers in 1994. He was a terrace idol and gave some barnstorming displays for Everton, scoring some truly memorable goals along the way. He rejoined the club in 2000 after an 18-month stay at Newcastle and was released at the end of the 2005-2006 season. Unsworth scored on his Everton debut as a teenager in April 1992 and went on to become one of the most popular players of the 90s. A powerful defender who was more than capable in a midfield position too. He won an FA Cup Winners' Medal in 1995, the year he won his only England cap. He's the joint record penalty scorer with 23 successful kicks, a tally he shares with Trevor Steven. A boy wonder who eventually broke Everton hearts, Wayne Rooney was just 16 when he exploded onto the Premiership scene. He was a schoolboy prodigy, and some of his goals in the royal blue of Everton betrayed his tender years. An England international at just 17, he left Goodison for Manchester United after the 2004 European Championships. Thomas Graveson's nickname of Mad Dog is quite fitting. A larger-than-life character both on and off the pitch, he was in the prime form of his life in 2005 when he was tempted to La Liga by Real Madrid. A tigerish midfield player with a silky touch, he returned to Goodison via a spell at Glasgow Celtic in the summer of 2007. A boyhood Evertonian who finally arrived at Goodison via spells with Bolton Wanderers and Glasgow Celtic. A dominant centre-half with a wonderfully powerful shot in his right foot, Stubbs played a big role in helping Everton qualify for the Champions League in 2004-05, but subsequently left to join Sunderland. His heart was always at Everton though, and he returned 6 months later. David Weir is one of the most reliable and consistent defenders to have ever worn the royal blue of Everton. A bargain £250,000 signing from Hearts in 1999, he proved to be an inspirational recruitment. He chalked up over 250 appearances for the club before joining up with Walter Smith again at Glasgow Rangers in 2006. Mikel Arteta arrived initially on loan from Glasgow Rangers towards the end of the 2004-2005 season, but he impressed sufficiently to be offered a permanent deal by David Moyes. Since then, his wonderful skills and keen eye for goal have made him a firm favourite with Evertonians, and he is now one of the most highly rated midfield players in the Premier League. Nigel Martyn nearly joined the Toffees in 1995, and it was another 8 years before he finally became an Everton player. He was worth the wait though, and even in his late 30s, he was still one of the most reliable goalkeepers in the top flight. An England international, it was an ankle injury in 2006 that finally brought the curtain down on a superb career.